Well, welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on. You're one of the 10 students who was nominated for the next project in all of Southeast Missouri.
Yeah,
so how does that feel?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I kind of feel special. So yeah.
So Jimmy Williams, you are a junior hire at Jackson, 8th grade.
Yep.
So just before I get into this, for next project, we get nominations sent in. And based on those, we choose 10 students. So I thought I'd read one of the nominations that was sent in for you, just to get to know you and we can dive in. So after undergoing a heart transplant in 2019, Jimmy has dedicated himself to giving back. He participated in numerous fundraising events for Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, starting his own toy drive called Jimmy's Birthday Wish. He is patient co-chair for Homers for Health and has embarked on a motivational speaking career, selling his story of overcoming adversity, and will be emceeing at the Holiday Heroes Banquet in St. Louis for the second straight year. So that's just starting on some of the things you've done. And that's already a huge list, and you're only 14. I can't imagine how busy you stay. But yeah, let's kind of dive into the heart transplant journey, how old were you when that happened?
I think I was 11. Yeah, I was 11 years old. I was 10 in October and then I turned 11. And I had a really speedy recovery for my heart transplant. We waited 103 days for us to get the call to know that we were going to go in and get it. So we waited a really long time. And I felt like I was more prepared going into the heart transplant, so I knew it was going to happen. And I think I made really one of the speediest recoveries for a heart transplant they'd seen. So it was nice. I was already back out there on the range hitting golf balls 2 weeks after my heart transplant. So
that's really amazing. That is a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
So it was 103 days you were waiting to find out that there was a heart you could have.
Yeah. So there was a previous call about 50 days in, and they told us that we might be able to get a heart. And then they found out that heart was damaged, minorly. So they didn't want to give it to me because they wanted me to get a perfect heart. So that's why they delayed. And then they waited more, another 50 days until I finally got that heart. And they said that one was good. So that's when they decided to give it to me.
I bet that was a hard wait.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was stressful. Every time the phone would ring, I would even think that it could maybe be the call. And after a while, we literally, before we got the call, me and my dad were like, are we ever going to get this thing? And we were starting to kind of lose hope a little bit. And then we were eating dinner with Jay Delsing that same day, and then we got the call. It's right when you start to lose hope, comes right back, so
That's awesome. And that was at Cardinal Glennon Hospital.
Yeah.
And that's in St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
And you've done a lot since then. Could you kind of dive into some of those charity funds that you've helped with?
I've done a lot. I've done right before that I did Heart and Soul. I did a Heart and Soul speaking event. I got my heart transplant in December. And then I did that event, I think 2 months later after that. So, that was awesome. And that's really when I got my first taste of public speaking. I did just a little short paragraph. And there was a bunch of people there. I think that's still the largest crowd I've ever really spoke to was that Heart and Soul event. And I just loved it. I loved being on that stage talking.
Yeah.
So that's what really made me find love for public speaking. And then after that, I've done Homers for Health events, just Cardinal Glennon events here and there, just other things, golf charity events. I've done my birthday wish events and stuff like that, so it's all been awesome.
Yeah. What's the Homers for Health? What do they do?
They just raise money for kids in the hospital that aren't as fortunate to have a bunch of things that they can do to pass time in the hospital. So they can raise toys and they can even raise equipment for other things like LVADs that even I had that help with just everything really. And so that these kids that they don't really have anything to do or they don't have any support with parents or anything and they're just in there, that they can raise money to help them pass the time by so they can get through it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned starting your own toy drive called
Yeah.
Jimmy's Birthday Wish, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when did you start that and what led you to want to make that step?
I just thought that that the kids in the hospital, that they needed, like me, I was a really like fortunate kid to have such great parents, and they really helped me through all of it. But some of the kids that were in there, they didn't. They had that their parents wouldn't show up for weeks on end. And even I was in the hospital like recently for a biopsy, and they thought my heart was a little bit more stiff than normal. And there was some girl that was like right beside us. She was like a little baby, and she like hadn't had her parents there in 2 months. And that was the reason why she couldn't get out of the hospital, is because her parents wouldn't show up to come get her. So things like that for our birthday and toy wish can really just help those kids pass the time by and just do anything to make their day a little bit better, because it's really hard in there in the hospital.
Yeah, I bet. How many toys have you guys donated?
A bunch. I think last year we got like 500 to 600, and this year we've got like over 1,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we've got a lot of toys. So we've had to make multiple trips up there because we have 2 cars, and my mom can't carry enough in those. So we have to make like 4 or 5 trips up there every year.
Oh, wow.
Just to get them all up there. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of kids who will have toys, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's good.
And then you've emceed at the Holiday Heroes banquet. Could you tell me about that?
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. I got to see Matt Holliday, which that was awesome. I mean, he's huge. He's like 6'4", and he's still jacked. So, yeah, that was so fun. I just got to sit around, talk, and then go up there and speak. It's just so fun. And I get to hang out with my family at such a cool event, and it's just awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Is there anything else like outside of charity events that you do sports? I know you seem like you like sports a lot.
Yeah, I do. I play some golf. So, yeah, I'm waiting for golf season to start up. I'm hoping to make the high school team next year. So that's really my main sport. I used to play baseball, and then I just kind of shifted towards the golf. I think that's really my passion.
Yeah,
so,
like you said, 2 weeks after your heart transplant, you were...
Yeah, I was already on the golf course. So, yeah, I think after the heart transplant, and even before anything had ever happened, I'd always been a golfer. So I think golf was really my sport.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are there any clubs or activities at school that you participate in?
Let me see. I don't think I do FCA.
Okay.
Future Christian Athletes. Yeah, that's really fun. So me and my friend are gonna speak in a little bit at that. I don't know when. I think it's next semester. So yeah, I think like February 15th or something. We're gonna do our little thing. So yeah, that's fun. I really like FCA. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're so busy outside of school with all this motivational speaking. What kind of made you fall in love with public speaking? I know you mentioned that event. But...
Yeah. I don't know, taking like control of like the crowd and everything. And, just like being able to get everyone's attention, and, just be able to get my message across in that kind of way. And then with my book, I think helps a lot too, because like if they want more, then you can just give them a book, and that's really good for me. And yeah, just getting my story out there. Yeah, that's what made me fall in love with it.
What do you want people to take from your story?
To have an attitude of grace, and that's the title of my book. So just let God take control of your life. And when you're in sports, like I was, like you can do something about it if you like hit a bad golf shot or even throw a bad pitch or something like that. Like you can like really help yourself and like work at it more. But in the hospital, like you really can't do anything. Like you're just there and you're stuck. And so at that point, you just got to give all the power to God.
Yeah.
And he can really just transform your life.
That's awesome. So you co-wrote this book with your dad.
Yeah.
How is
yeah.
that process like of writing a book so young?
Yeah, so me and my dad, we just sit there watching Cardinals games, and we would just take turns writing on the computer. Yeah, and
During the game?
yeah, during the game, and we just talk about, because I don't remember most of the stuff, because I was in the hospital, and my dad, he remembers most of the stuff that went on in the hospital, and then I can remember some stuff, but not a lot. So he really helped me with a bunch of the chapters in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically at the start and the end of the books, that's where I really wrote most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the hospital, we kind of went over like really what happened because I couldn't remember mostly what was going on.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And I know you love motivational speaking. Is that something you see yourself doing in the future?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I really want to until I don't really want to anymore if I'm just too busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you kind of know what you'd like to do? I know you're so young, but like 10 years from now.
Yeah. I'm hoping to go D1 in golf, and then from there I'll see what it takes me. I mean, if I do go D1, then I'm gonna try to get maybe like a degree in like broadcasting or something like that. Talk about sports, and then if golf doesn't end up working out, which it's going to be hard for golf to work out, so I'm probably just going to go into broadcasting if golf doesn't end up the thing that I want to do in the long run.
Yeah, broadcasting I think would be great for you.
Yeah,
It seems like you love speaking. And
oh yeah, so I'm hoping to get into sports broadcasting. I love talking about sports, so yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it also says you've been involved in food drives before then.
Yeah.
Could you kind of tell me about that?
Yeah, I remember me and my mom, we went down to the Jackson Middle School, and we would pack up food, and that's awesome, just knowing what that cause is going to kids that are, starving. So it's really good to help those kids out, kind of like how it was in the hospital, It's not that they're like starving, but 'cause they do feed us. So, but like it's still kind of going to the same thing where they need help. So, yeah, just do anything you can.
Yeah. What do you have a quote or a motto that you kind of live by in life?
I don't know. Probably just the golden rule, I guess. I don't know. Probably that, because I just try to be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're nice to everyone, they're probably going to be nice back. So yeah, that's really what I live by, and work hard. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And do you have someone who inspires you in life?
Probably my mom and my dad. They do. My dad and my mom, they both work really hard at what they do. So yeah, they inspire me a lot.
Awesome. And is there something you want people to know about your generation? With the next project, we're talking about the next generation. What is something you want people to take away from?
Man, I don't know.
Because I know sometimes older generations have misconceptions or they think things wrong.
Yeah, kind of like my dad. My dad's pretty old. He's like 60. So, dang. That we aren't little stinkers like he thinks we are. Yeah, that's what.
I think that's a good way to sum it up.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then is there anything else like you want people to take away, lessons you've learned in life that you feel like you'll take with you for the rest of your life?
To just trust in the power of God's grace and let grace build an attitude within you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today,
No problem.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Good luck with your book and everything else you're doing.
Thank you.